Hi, Carol here. Welcome to my craft room. I'm going to be drawing a start to finish lion right here. This is the finished piece. I'm going to be using you just need a ruler. I grabbed my Tim Holtz ruler and my T-square. I'm going to use my Prisma black pencil, and I'm going to use three different lead pencils, a 2H or an HB if you have one, just so you have a light lead. And then I'm going to be using a 3B and a 4B. This is the darker shades towards the black. Now, everybody knows I'm moving into a different craft room here, so I had to get out what products I could find. And I was wondering what size I was going to do this line because I'm going to be using my Pebeo wonderful paints. I fell in love with these, Marie. I've been watching videos on how to use them, and I am going to do a canvas with those, but I need to have some African wildlife animals. And so I decided to just draw them out myself, and I grabbed this 14 by 11 inch pad. This is the one where I test. There's some manga drawings I've done, practice drawings, and here I just practice to see the different leads and how I get different shadings in that. So there is just a sketchbook you get at Michael's, and it is my 14 by 11 inch, and I want to find the center here. So that's why I grabbed a centering ruler and my T-square. So here I'm just showing you, yes, it's 14 by 11. If you use your coupon, you get a really good buy on these sketch pads. I decided to go with an African um, theme of having different wildlife animals on this canvas. And so I am going to show you it's not difficult, it's at a beginner level drawing, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up so that you can draw an animal or an actual face, whatever, using this method. So I took a 2.5 by 2.5 inch box I drew out, and then I cut that in half, right? I did centered it and then centered it vertical and horizontal, drew the lines. Now I'm going to draw 5 inches on the bottom right along there, and I'm going to follow that up so it's 5 inches by 5 inches square. So you have a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square in the center, and now we're making a 5-inch square. And then just above there, we're going to cut that in half and make sure right there it's in half and draw a line. And here you're going to be able to put everything into focus, and the eyes will all be even, and you'll see how all your placement will be right just by putting these squares on the page and centering it out. Well, I thought I would do this lion. I like to watch this artist called Mark Criley on YouTube, and he did this similar lion, almost identical actually. I was inspired by watching his video to do this lion myself, and I thought I would just show you how easy it is for you to watch a video and then to replicate it almost identical. Obviously, it's not going to be as wonderful as his. He's a wonderful artist, but I mean, it is acceptable. And that's what I'm going for here. So now in the eyes, you're going to make them, they're not centered. Each one, this one is more to the left and the other one is more to the right, just a tad. And then the eye ducts, one is going to be centered right there, the one I'm doing right now. It's going to be pretty centered, but when you come around to doing the bottom of the eye, the tear duct is going to be squared off and low. It's going to point down and towards each other, almost like a pair of goggles. That's the look that I get when I look at it anyway. And see how I'm coming over there more to the right side. And the only reason I have my ruler out here is so one isn't lower than the other. So then you're going to make these tear duct on the outside of the eye, and then the bottom one that normally you would put them together towards the nose. You're going to put it down and facing in, if that makes any sense. And you can see it's pretty even. And then you're going to make the eyeball on the inside of this, and um, see how I'm just showing you here how you want to get them reasonably even. And this white eraser, this clickable white eraser, is amazing. And you're going to use this white eraser, this click eraser, to get a lot of texture later on. I'm going to show you how to achieve that in the mane of the lion. So here we go. We're going to make the eyeballs on the inside, and then we're going to use our black Prisma pencil. If you see that little light that's shining, as I'm editing, I'm wondering what is that little light that seems to flick on the paper. I think it's my glasses, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry if that's annoying, but yeah, I'm thinking the sun was shining so much in these windows. I'm not used to having direct sunlight, and I think it was hitting off of my glasses. Yeah, see how it just shone down on that paper? I apologize for that. But anyway, we're going to move forward. Now here I'm working on those, the eye ducts being pointed downward. And it just looks like a funny goggle, like a swimming goggle. And don't be afraid to use your white eraser and erase. If you don't think it's exactly what you want, um, just erase it. That's why you have that eraser. And then I'm making sure that it's reasonably even. So I set my ruler down, and that helps. Or maybe it's, I'm looking at it here. No, it has to be my glasses. Thinking maybe it's my crazy bracelet that's shining off the light and hitting there. But anyway, yeah, isn't it something how something can be so annoying? Yeah, there it is. I can see it again. Yeah, with having the open windows in this new craft room, I get so much direct sunlight. Um, I'm going to have to figure something out there when I'm doing the videos. It was just after lunch, and boy, was it hot today. Anywho, yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. So I'm correcting the top there. I don't want to have it pointy in the middle. So I am going to erase that point and just put a little wee gully on the top. And now I'm going to make the mouth. And it's almost like an S. See how it's a wiggly line like an S? And aren't the lines that are in this square wonderful for proportioning all of your lines? I think it's great. So it's just like a curly Q smile, like a lip. And you're going to put that in, and you're going to make it as even as you can. And then I am going to meet it about in the center right here. And I'm going to just come down almost like a tooth. Yes, see how I'm coming down there? And there you have it. It's almost like a couple of buck teeth down there. And then I am going to meet it with a point on the middle line, and see how everything is just wonderfully positioned. I love that. I'm going to leave a link over to the video that shows you in, it's more of a teaching tutorial than what I'm showing you here. That if you want to do this exact lion, here I saw the video yesterday, and I'm kind of just trying to think how it went in the way I would do it. But I think it's pretty close. Here's my little buck teeth that I'm putting on there. Just looks like, reminds me of buck teeth coming down. And then I am going to do these two, I don't know, they're like little sacks. They meet at that point there, come around, and you're going to come up. You're going to pass that section right there. And then I'll place my ruler there, I think, just to make sure that they're somewhat even. But when you put the hair and the texture of the mane around this lion, it's not really going to matter if you're out at all. It's just something I'm used to using the ruler when I do animal drawings. So yeah, and the squares. It was really nice to see that Mark Crowley does the same. You know, that I think that's where I learned how to do lions is by watching that video some time ago, and he's very easy to follow, and you'll be able to do this in no time. So here I'm using that white eraser, that clickable eraser I got at the stationery store. And now you're going to go right in the middle of that sack, and I'm making little hair lines. So I come across to that section, that cutoff section, and as you can see, I didn't come over enough. So now I have to mark it, erase it, and start over. And this is like his chinny chin chin that we're making on the bottom, the beard of the lion. And I am doing this today in black and white, but I'm going to add a coloring medium on the canvas. I think you're really going to like it. I am just doing this line so that I can get the background to have all the lines that I need to show texture when I place it on the canvas. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to use a glass canvas, because these Pebeo paints, you can do it on metal and canvas material and glass. I don't know. I am going to do a canvas of some sort. So here I'm going to jump and just start the ears. I thought that would be nice. I'm going to make sure that I have them somewhat even on each side, and they're kind of round like a cub's ear. That's how you want to make them. And right when I come along here, I'm going to show you, we have that line drawn across, so we know that it's going to meet on each side, but don't do that. You want to come in. I erase it there because I realized, no. It doesn't go like that. Erase that, Carol, yeah? It comes into almost an egg shape, and you pass that other line like that, and that makes almost the perfect lion ear. So nice. And then I'm starting to erase my lines, my positioning lines in the boxes here, and you're really going to enjoy the next portion of just putting the hair on and doing some of your shading. That's what really makes this lion, is how you shade. Now, as you're doing the flicking motion to the mane, you're going to take it one section at a time, one half, the left half, and then the right half. See how I made a little line there in the middle? And you don't want to come too far over that top 5x5 box line. So you're pretty well going to come straight across, because you can add extra hairlines later on. But you want it to have kind of like an oval, and you'll see I'm still working with the 2H pencil, which is similar to your HB pencil. And I have an electric sharpener I keep handy because I like to keep it very pointy. So here I erased it because I had to start it again. You want it to have that oval, but you don't want it to go over that top line. You want the right side and the left side of the mane to be taller, and then shorter in the center, and you'll see why later on. So here I'm just doing flicking motion just like you were doing grass. And I stopped right there to make sure I had some of that hair inside the lion's ear, because it's easy to forget that, and you'll end up shading it instead of having that grass look in there. And you'll see what I mean on the top. And don't be afraid to erase if you think it's not going according to plan, or you're looking at it and you think, you know what, it's just not rounded enough. Just erase it. That white eraser is amazing. I'm bringing it down to show you here, just like grass. That is how you have to do that flicking motion, and do one half then the other. And now we're going to flick back and forth from the 2H pencil, the 3B and 4B, and your black Prisma. Now here on the snout, we're going to add these little dots, but I'm going to show you, you want to erase the inside so they're lighter than the outside. And we'll fix that up a little later. And it's really cute because I was thinking to myself, you know what? This almost looks like a monkey. I gotta get this looking like a lion. Yeah, but don't worry about it. You go in stages and it'll all turn out. But the key that I want to show you here is the eyes. Yes, you want to have that glassy look in the eyes. So grab your blackest pencil that you have, and here a 4B would work, but I like the Prisma, black Prisma pencil because it's so creamy. And then I move back and forth from the 2H pencil to the Prisma. And you're going to make the top portion of the inside eye, you're going to do a cross hatch inside there, and that's what makes the eye almost look like glass. And then you're going to do the under portion of the eyeball lighter than the top. And you'll see that as I'm doing this eye right here. You're going to have the inside pupil not centered. They're almost going to be, the left one is going to be almost up a tad, and the right pupil is going to be towards the middle. You'll see that right there. And then you're going to add some of those little dots on the upper portion here that you're going to black out, almost like a little mustache here. And now I'm going to add some 2H pencil shading, and a lot of this shading is done with cross hatching, and that just adds a different type of texture when you're sketching. And here I've taken the 2H pencil here, and you want to draw almost like an outer circle around the eyes that you did, and put little hairs underneath for the eyelashes, and leave those sections white. Don't do anything inside there. You can actually take your eraser to clean them up inside. So now I'm taking out all the lines that I placed in there, that 2.5-inch square, and I'm going to erase as much of those lines as I can see. I'm going to make this look a little bit more like hair on there, and I'm going to bring that pupil line down. I'm going to make, here's where all of the cross hatching happens. This is where you're going to get some nice depth, and you can work on this later. This is just to give me a visual. I wanted to have some eyelashes underneath there. I wanted to have the pupils done so that they looked nice and glassy. And no two eyes are exactly alike, so don't worry that they're identical. But see how bringing those ducts down, the eye ducts, just makes it look more like a lion. Now I am going to come up here, and here's where I'm going to do the layering of the hair. I'm just going to, it's really just guessing it, and because I'm going to use another medium, I'm going to surprise you with what I'm going to color this with after. I'm just wanting the lines to be an undertone for this lion. I just want you to be able to see through the next medium all of the hair. So now I am just flicking it out from the at all angles actually, and I'm going to do some cross hatching here, some straight work. You want to get it dark towards the face here. You want to have some, you can see I go one way and then I turn my pencil and I go the other way. And I'm cross hatching right here, bringing it down so that you can get some, so the sunlight is like directly in the center. That's what I'm going for on this lion. And isn't it coming together? He's not looking, he's more looking like a lion here. So now I am adding the dots. I am making sure I have some shading on the top and the bottom, and that the hair now on the beard is going to go into an oval shape. You're going to make it really dark towards the Prisma pencil black on the upper portion, and then you're going to work your way down on the bottom there where the hair is. And here it's just shading that I'm doing on the actual lion to make his nose look like it's standing out. I'm going to put some hair on the top of the snout, and I'm going to make kind of like an oval shape halfway up the nose so that it looks like it's more 3D. And I'm using my 3H pencil and my 3B and my 4B. I'm jumping all over there. I am using the side of my pencil when I want to get some deeper shading, and I put a little crest on the top of this little lion. See it up there? I thought it just added to, I don't know, to the feature, for his feature. It just looked nice. And then because I'm going to add color over this, I'm not worried about where all of the actual lines are. I want to make sure he has a body coming out there, and there's going to be 3 more animals after this that we're going to add, and that's why it's nice to do it a section at a time. I want to get a lot of different textures in the actual fur, all of the hair coming down from the mane, and I want to get it a nice deep shading towards the outer edge of the face, and I'm using the eraser quite a bit here to add kind of like an S shape. You go into the mane and you take your eraser and you just make S's, and that will give you some nice deep features. On the top, I'm starting to darken it up, but when I add the coloring medium I'm going to put on this lion, you're it's really going to jump out. I think you're really going to like it when I'm finished here. And now I'm making some of those V lines in the mane, just kind of like you're making grass. And I want to make sure it's nice and thick. And every lion is different. And here I'm going on the side of my pencil to do the body, and there's wind out there, so you can add some little extra hairs going wisping every which way on the face. And now I'm doing the S's with my white eraser, and you can almost see it here, and I'm going through just to make sure I have enough shading that I think adds a little bit of character to this. I'm just erasing some of the pencil marks that my arm got on the outside there of the mane, and I am thickening up the top of the hair on his face. And notice how I did it darker on the right, lighter on the left, but then I did the left ear a little darker. Yeah, it's all to how you see things when you're coloring. Now the next thing I wanted to add is my Copic multi-liner to do the whiskers. And this is the eraser. I'm taking the eraser and I am trying to even the tone out of the hairs on the top. And then I'm going to take 2 sizes of my paintbrush, and one is the right here is the fine liner brush, and on each of the dots on the snout here, I want to grab the the Copic multi-liner, the opaque white, and we're going to just flick it. And you want to make it quite, you'll actually, I'm grabbing another, I have 2 different brushes. One is shorter, this is the long detailed brush. So I'm going to try it here, and yeah, straight up and down worked better for me. And you want the hairs quite long, so you want to drag it. I'm just getting a feel for it here. I go back and forth with, one is a shorter detailed paintbrush and one is longer. And I like to use these detail brushes for branches when I do trees. And here I'm adding it to the whiskers, and just to get some shading, and I'm going to make all kinds of little whiskers coming out of there. And I want to thank you for joining me here watching this. This is all because I'm going to be doing this canvas of animals, and with that Pebeo Paints that I got for my birthday from Marie. And you're going to add a dot right there. Now I did it a little bit too high up, it didn't get on the eyeball, so just wait a minute till it dries. I just grabbed the eraser in my nail and I flicked it off right like that, and then you're going to bring it down into the actual glassy section right above the actual pupil. And then on this one you're going to do it on the left. With drawing any animals, you're really doing the animal with the character you like. And you can have a huge big mane and do a lot of hair coming out, or just a small mane like this was, using the 5x5 frame so that I could stay in that section. And here I'm just grabbing the Copic opaque white multi-liner with my detail paintbrush, and we're giving him some cute little whiskers. So you want to start on one of those dots and bring it out in every direction. Yes, and I think that our little lion came out okay. And you know, art is all about relaxation and experimenting and having fun. Um, and that's what I was doing today. I thought these uh, Pebeo Paints, I have been on the internet and watching some of the work that other artists are doing with those paints, and I can't wait to do this canvas using them. I got them from Marie for my birthday, and yeah, I think I'm really going to enjoy doing this canvas. And like I say, don't be afraid to experiment and have fun. And I'm just about finished with, yeah, I'm adding some down right here into the mane on the bottom, some of the Copic on the detail brush, just to give me some texture and some dimension as well. So don't be afraid to give it a try. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's not difficult. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And here I'm just taking my finger and I'm shading, taking some of the harsher lines out. And there you have it, my friends. I'm just putting the lid on there, and I'm getting ready to do the coloring to just put a little bit of color into this lion. And I always sharpen my pencils after I'm done using them. I have this electric pencil sharpener. It has an automatic stop, so once it gets sharpened to a nice point, it stops, and I really like it. I got it some time ago, so it's nice to have, and especially to get nice detail in your work. And thank you very much. It's a different video. I was going to do a card for you, but I thought, you know what? I want to use those Pebeo paints because they are truly amazing. And I thought of just, setting some time out and doing a little bit of drawing. And thank you very much. You have yourself a blessed week. And I will see you on part 2 as we do another drawing of another animal, and I will add color to this little lion. There we go. I think it's called Boztech. I'm not quite sure. I can't read it there, but I think it is. And look at how it comes out really quick. It stops it on a nice point. Yeah, I'm really enjoying my island here in my new craft room. It was wonderful, but a lot of sunshine coming in, I tell you, in those windows. So just take out some of your pencils and give this a try. I think you'll really like it. As always, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your wonderful comments. I sure do appreciate them. And we will see you on part 2, my friends. Take care.